I'm Geoffrey in World of Tanks. I will feature a battle from last weekend's Equalize mode, and there's going to be another one this weekend, so perhaps you get an idea what it's like. I'm playing a mid-tier tank. It's Ready 5I, and there are tanks from tier 2 to tier 10 in this battle. So how it works is that the lower tier tanks get a buff in penetration, alpha, and hit points. So I have about 1,780 hit points, I think. 2,800 hit points, which is a lot. I have more pen, but this tank doesn't really have very good pen anyway, so it's going to be a problem penning anybody. And at least the higher tier tanks. The armor stays the same. So I'm taking the sniping position. Of course, Wargaming has made it next to impossible for anybody to snipe. And these maps, reworked maps, so this is going to be a game in which I have to depend on the enemies doing really terrible mistakes and acting like buffoons to do any damage. Wow, that was very lucky. The other thing you'll see, it's not just there are no sniping opportunities. You can see there that part of the map is reward, so you cannot snipe. Not only are there no sniping opportunities, when you get an opportunity to shoot at someone who's 300 meters away from you, and then you have to move your hull like crazy, you know. And you can have a look at my aiming circles, and that's how it is. If you don't get dizzy, I was getting dizzy. So Tanktosaurus have become pretty useless. I think those that have turrets, or those who have a little bit of armor, you know, like the Italian ones, they're still okay. Although I think they were buffed recently, so even that is not the case anymore. Okay, I'm tracking this guy. Every time I shoot, I hit his front wheel. And I also set him on fire. Well, that was lucky. So all the lower tier tanks have more hit points. So I already got about 1800 HP damage from taking those shots. Now I start the game with about 70 shots, I think. Or was it 80? Probably 70. And I almost ran out by the end of the game. And yeah, a lot of bounces, as I said. So this tank is prefers on matchmaking because it has very low pen. So even if you multiply the pen bounce, it still has difficulty penning. Every time it pens, causes 250 something damage. The in-game damage it causes during a battle is about 150, so it's not like a huge buff in the alpha. The pen is the main thing that you can pen higher tier tanks. 260 alpha damage, HP. And you can see this was a position that was meant for sniping in the early version of this map. When it scores the unit is killed, I suppose. I'm an expert in Russian, of course. Ah, penned. Very hard to pen. I have tons of opportunities because the enemy is just acting like crazy. Look at this guy. He's just going through the middle of the map, no cover. Every time I hit him, I cause about 200 damage. But he probably has more than 3,000 hit points. Almost certainly. Probably has close to 4,000 hit points. Tier 2. 270 damage. 271. It's about double, I think, the alpha of the tank. The pen, I'm not sure. And aiming at anything with a tank that has such little gun traverse, it's just a headache because you have no firing lane, so you can't just put your gun down one direction and shoot for those who will come out because they have to come out that way. The maps are no longer like that anymore. You just have to rotate your hull all the time. It's just a headache. Literally, you get a headache from it. Look at this. Well, maybe you shouldn't look at it. And of course the velocity, the shell velocity is very, very slow. That doesn't change. Gun handling doesn't change, I don't think so. What I remember. I'm doing about 230 to 270 damage per shot. But that tank must have like 4,000 HP. The tier 2. And this one was impossible to pen. It was really impossible. Even flank shots, apart from the terrible gun handling of the Su-85I, even flank shots couldn't penetrate it. It's red. And I'm spotted now. Ah, that bend. Zigzagging to avoid shots by the enemy tank. At least it's a small tank destroyer, so, and fairly maneuverable. So that is a plus. So I've got 4,400. Yeah, did I track him? I'm sure. But didn't pen. Oh, here comes the object 10, tier 10 object. Didn't pen. Just tracked him. Didn't pen. Didn't pen, missed, I think. Poor terrible gun handling. That shows us green. Hit the side, I penned for 254. But it's getting a little bit precarious at this point. We're losing 11, 12. Done 4,500 damage. If the teammates would help a little bit. At this point we have the Alecto left, and the SPG, which has taken so far 2 shots, if I'm not mistaken. We are 40 minutes into the battle. I'm spotted. And dead. No, we're not 40 minutes. I am 9 minutes in the battle. And 1 shot to 2,007. Or is it 2,500 hit points or something? 2,700 or something? With 1 shot. It took me 9 minutes to do 4,000, 5,000 something. It took him 1 millisecond to do 2,700 hit points damage. That's how this mode went. I mean, can you imagine that huge cell that just goes right through the tank, destroys everything inside? When you're being shot by the T-10 tanks, or if you have an engine, it disappears. Anything else, like ammo rack, everything disappears. You get one shot, you explode. If you're lowered here. So here's the SPG. I think it's taking like 2 or 3 shots all game. And because the enemy was moving so fast, the enemy tanks. Now the Alicto is causing some damage to the Russian, the object. Tier 10 object. And there goes the Alicto. Alicto was some kind of goddess or minor deity in ancient mythology, ancient Greece. It means the barking siren or something. In any case, so second by damage, 5,464 damage. 1 kill. After 9 minutes of shooting, expanding my entire magazine. So let's equalize now in a normal mode. This is no longer the equalize mode, but you'll see I'm trying to equalize anyway in an SPG, which is so hard. As you all witness, this is one of the very first. This is the first.
They kicked me upstairs a while ago, but I still remember how to fight.
The radio. This is the first tier 10 SPG game I've ever uploaded. I've ever kind of made a film or whatever, a movie of, video of. And it was extreme. A little bit like that Equalize battle. How can you equalize in an SPG? When your team is not helping. This is what I mean. And your team is disappearing. So here I hit the guy was behind it, and I splashed this Russian tank. Is it Russian thing? Didn't break their skin. So here I have one of the Rambo commanders who got the Rambo event. Can't remember his name. They're moving too much. I don't want to waste my shots because I have a reload. I have a magazine, but it takes about a minute to reload. So if I shoot, then I want to make sure I hit. But every time I hit, I do about 150 to 200 damage. Not much more than the TF5 Su-85I that I showed you in the previous battle. Per shot. So in a minute you can do about 600 damage if all goes well and all your shots do something. If all your shots hit, rather, as opposed to miss or just splash. If all your shots hit in 1 minute, you do about 600 damage in this tank. Unless you're lucky, of course, unless you pen, unless you ammo rack or something like that. Okay, they're just moving, so I can't waste my shots. So I'm looking for better opportunities. This is a potential maybe. I only have part of the outline of the tank, but it was a good shot. 267 because I hit the top of the vehicle where it doesn't have much armor, and so then the damage is higher. It wasn't a pen, but it caused more damage.
Target destroyed.
And that was a kill for 112 hit points. At this point, I have 30% of all the kills in the team. Desperate shot, but that flank is holding. It's also extremely annoying when the team expects the SPG to take out the enemy light tanks. The people at the front very often underestimate how important the enemy lights are. And that you cannot expect SPGs to take them out. It's really hard. So 310 at the moment. What are their hopes of turning this around in an SPG? What are the chances? They like tanks calling for help, but the only thing that can help you is the SPG, basically. I have 2 SPGs left now, and a Manticore, which is almost down to no health. 412. Can we turn this around? Spotted, fortunately, the enemy bounced.
Ain't that just perfect?
It's pretty lucky if you ask me. And so, everyone is ganging up on the Manticore. You can't turn this around, okay? It's just impossible. This guy just wasted his shot. It's just pointless. Try and turn anything around him.
We just set the whole thing on fire.
And an SPG.
That's
Okay. So 3 kills.
People to stay alive in a line of duty.
You're trying to it, mate. 2,800 hit points. Damage, I think that was. 2,700 or something. Pretty hopeless. Pretty hopeless. Equalizing an SPG is not so easy. More kills than anyone else in the team. Second by damage, second by experience. The battle lasted for less than 5 minutes. 4 minutes, 45 seconds. Second in my team in an SPG. Boy, come on. People, play the game. Thank you for watching.